קודם כל, זו פעם ראשונה שאני נחשף באופן שיטתי יותר ממה שקורה כאן באוניברסיטה. אני אחלוק איתכם את האג'נדה שלי כשר תפוצות, ואיפה מה אנחנו עושים, מה אנחנו מזהים, מה אנחנו רוצים לקדם. קודם כל, אני מאוד מתחבר, עברית זה סבבה פה? שאתה רוצה לבוא לאנגלית? אוקיי, נעבור לאנגלית, so I'll move to English. As mentioned here, I really like the comment, it was Danny, who mentioned it's not about Jewish continuity, it's about Jewish relevancy. And I think that this is the greatest challenge of the Jewish people today. It is a huge challenge within the state of Israel, and it is a huge challenge outside of the state of Israel. It seems as if the state of Israel, because you speak Hebrew, you are connected to Judaism. This is just not true, absolutely not true. And I would like, since I'm here with you, to remind you a conversation we had. I don't recall when exactly, but you said, I don't really care if you're going to be religious, yes or no. But one thing I want to make sure, you're not going to be going over Ivrit. And it wasn't about to say something bad about Goyim. It was about to be a serious Jew. Know your culture, know where you're coming from, know Jewish history, respect it, and live it. It's not just respect, it's not a museum. And yesterday when we had a conversation, it was very interesting. You mentioned about the Aztecs or about the Inca. So, okay, so the people here are very proud of the ancient Inca, and they even found some, I don't know how to say it, a stick with ropes that was used as the language. But no one understands today the language. And we, as a very ancient civilization, are still speaking the same language, having the same songs, having the same 10 commandments, having the same philosophy. Yes, it's adopted, but it's basically the same. And this is something that we should highly appreciate. It shouldn't be taken for granted. So in the Ministry of Diáspora, we are focusing on one mission, especially, which is early Jewish education. במקורות נאמר, גרסא לינקותא אינה משתכחת. What you've learned as a child will remain from you. We don't think that momentum or birthright or any of these programs, when you are 18 or when you are an imam, that's enough. It's not enough. These are very good, very successful programs, but it's not enough. We must have strong foundation, and we see that we have a huge challenge. And by the way, Mexico is a small Jewish empire because you have almost all your kids in Jewish day schools, and that's absolutely not the case. Not in Europe, and not in the US. Only 22% of the kids go to Jewish schools or Sunday schools, and that's include the Haredim and the Orthodox. So it's not a Magdolah. So most of the Jews in the US, they don't even go to a Jewish day school, and they think, okay, well, I want to get to Harvard, I want to get to MIT, and even if they go to private school, they won't necessarily go to the Jewish private school. They will prefer a different private school. So the mission is, how can we make sure that Jewish education, private education, abroad it's private education usually, how we make it the best education possible. Once, because of Jewish philosophy and the Jewish way of life, and I think Judaism is today far more relevant than it was in the past. I think that the idea of Shabbat, for instance, is one of the most relevant idea for the the knowledge generation. We are bombed with artillery of data 24/7, and Shabbat for a human being today, it's like Hevel Hatzalah. It's like air. It's air for the soul. It's emergency. It is also an emergency to keep the family together. Because if you don't have Shabbat, and I don't mean by the religious necessarily to have the entire package, and just 24 hours that you can put aside everything else and to be with your kid and to read with him Parashat Shavua and to sit around the table as a family. We all know this is very rare in the middle of the week. So I think first it needs to be the best education because of Jewish philosophy, but second because of the level of the teachers and the level of the education. And here we have the biggest challenge, as it was mentioned here. Teachers are the key, and we are going to invest especially in training teachers and in training the leaders of the institution. That's where we're going to put the main focus as an office in Mexico, in the US, because we believe that leadership is the core and teaching is the core. And as it says במקורותינו, עיר שאין לה מלמד תינוקות לא נחשבת עיר. The basic for a city is the melamed, the teacher. Communities that think that the teacher is something on the side, the community in a big problem. And we can say that we are in a big problem, but we can still change it. תודה רבה.